Well, I think basically I grew up in a very Catholic family, the 1950s, 1960s, very close to my parish church. And I think very early on I began to be attracted to what the priests in the parish did. And I think that's where the first seeds were planted. One way that gradually this was nurtured within me was the first Fridays when we used to have Eucharistic adoration. And I remember praying before the Blessed Sacrament, and I think that really began to crystallize within me the thoughts that this is where the Lord was calling me. And I continued to pursue those thoughts through high school and actually through college, although by the time I left high school I was very certain that that's where the Lord was calling me. And I had the advantage of having good priests who counseled me, who encouraged me, who challenged me. And I think that's, it grew in a very gradual and a very natural way, this understanding that the Lord really was calling me to a life as a parish priest. And obviously I responded to that call and went through the seminary process, my studies in theology, and it was there that obviously the church also recognized this call and called me to holy orders. I think the first and foremost thing is to find a good spiritual director and to allow him to help anyone who would feel called to the priesthood. It's important to really allow yourself to be guided and directed so as to interpret together the call of the Lord. Obviously, the decision is always going to be an individual one and a very personal one, but we do have helps. The Lord does place people in our path who help us along the way. And that would be the first step, I would say. And then the second step is obviously to investigate the ways in which you might respond to this call as a diocesan priest, as a religious order. The Lord generally lets His way be known, but He does it obviously through our interests, through our capabilities, and also through the people that He places in our path. And so it's important to be open to all of these various ways in which the Lord manifests His will. It's certainly a very wonderful way to serve the Lord, and it's certainly a way to live in serenity and to live in that peace that the Lord talks about in the 17th chapter of John's Gospel. And so if anyone is thinking that the Lord is perhaps calling him to the priesthood, it's certainly something that's very important and very worthwhile to pursue.
For information on the priesthood or religious life, log on to www.ewtn.com/religiouslife.